So now I would like to invite Mr. Takahiro Suda, who is the World Bank's Alternative ED, Executive Director, to come up and give some closing remarks.
Good afternoon and good evening to everyone. I have a slight hesitation to make this closing remarks after hearing the very inspiring and motivational, uplifting speech from Taffer, but bear with me, I have to do this job. So, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I'm honored to deliver, of course, these closing remarks on behalf of the Japanese government. First, I want to express my sincere appreciation to all the distinguished speakers who provided various insights and food for thought. I also thank everybody in the organizing team. Nothing could have been achieved without your hard work and dedication. So thank you very much. I couldn't attend most of the session, but I was fully briefed what has been discussed, and I definitely would like to congratulate everyone on that. Coming from Japan, one of the most disaster-prone countries, the disaster risk management always touches my heart. Building resilience to natural disaster has been one of the priorities in the development agenda. It protects the economy from the destruction stemming from disasters, and thus helps the countries achieve steady growth. In particular, it supports the poorest population who are often hit the hardest. The essential facilities such as transportation, power, water supply, communication networks, you name it, all of them are vital for maintaining people's daily lives. In these closing remarks, I'd like to briefly discuss what exactly resilient infrastructure means. They should be very familiar in particular after this intensive workshop. I just think that it can be a useful recap of this workshop as well. So obviously it has two aspects. So first, it could mean physically resilient infrastructure. Physically resilient infrastructure that is designed and constructed to withstand the impacts of climate change and natural disasters. Safer schools in Turkey, I think you had a lot today, is a case in point. In the earthquake-affected area, there have been 24 schools that were built based on GFDRRs and EU's support, and all of them had survived. And in addition, 4 schools were used by the Turkish government to provide temporary shelters. So resilient and safer schools have helped short-term response, such as food and shelter, but also long-term growth through provision of the human capital development. And second, equally important, it could mean social infrastructure. Of course, that includes institutions, governance, regulations, and safety standards, both ex ante and ex post. The bank, of course, is, I think, fully aware of this importance. I'm very happy to hear the presentation by Anna on the GFDRR's Building Regulations for Resilience Program, as it facilitates very helpfully regulatory assessment, capacity building, and knowledge exchanges in this regard. As you know, that last week at the high-level meeting of the mid-term review of the Sendai Framework for Disaster Risk Reduction, delegates stressed the importance of strengthening disaster risk governance as well. So bottom line, we need to strengthen both elements in a well-balanced manner, and the GFDRR definitely provides a great opportunity to pursue these two goals. Japan is committed to contribute to global efforts to enhance resilience to natural disasters. We have supported the GFDRR for over a decade now through Japan World Bank Program for mainstream disaster risk management in developing countries. But we are also increasingly aware, okay, so this is fine, that Japan has a strong partnership with World Bank, but more importantly, achieving resilience to natural disaster requires collective efforts, not only Japan, but also everybody, like all the stakeholders. So promoting collaboration and partnership among governments, private sector, academia, civil societies, the affected communities, of course, that is a necessary condition to build resilience and reduce disaster risk. As the next co-chair of GFDRR, Japan will continue to work together to all of you to build a more resilient world where people can live in safety and security. So I hope everyone agrees to continue our joint efforts in the spirit of collaboration, which I believe is a long-standing tradition of GFDR. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those remarks, Mr. Suda. So now I'd also like to invite Renaud Seligman. He's back. He's ready to close the event and wrap it up, and then we can head down to hear Tuffa sing and have a cocktail.
So do it from here?
Wherever you like.
Stand, actually. I've
Yeah.
been sitting all day. Well, friends, wonderful 2 days. Thank you really so much for participating in these discussions. Look, I think as we've said at different points during the day, at the end of the day, disaster risk and resilience is about people, and it's about protecting communities and livelihoods and opportunity for all in an inclusive manner. It's never been so urgent as it is now. I think there have been too many wake-up calls for the international community to let this agenda slide. And I am very encouraged by the thought that, look, the sky's the limit when it comes to GFDRR. In fact, we've put one of our GFDRR staff into space because, he's joining the Japanese space program. And I think there's a lot that we can do to tackle together the devastating impacts and the combined impacts of climate, of conflict, and the lingering effects of the pandemic. But at the end of the day, it's about preserving the hard-won gains of development. And it's about helping achieve the Sustainable Development Goals together. And it's about doing it in a way that is smart, because it focuses on prevention, it focuses on preparedness, it focuses on reducing the impact of what we cannot control and controlling what we can. And so, if you'd like to learn more about GFDRR and the amazing work that is done by the teams, of course, we're always here. You are welcome to look at our recently published annual report and the website. Make sure you check out the Safer Schools virtual reality exhibit as you just exit the reception area of the East Dining Room. And there's also the photo exhibit from the Averted Disaster Award. So, plenty to look at, but I really want to thank all of you for each of your contributions, your financial contributions, your intellectual contributions, all of the staff for what you're doing every day, Niels and Bernice for their excellent leadership of this group, and all of you who have made these 2 days possible, especially support staff who have been on hand and doing an amazing job. So let's give them a round of applause. And so we'll see you at the exhibits and in the reception area where we can continue these important discussions over a glass of something or other. Thank you.